So I have a bed, a desk, a wood stove and a door. What else does anyone need? I think I'm here for a very specific reason, which I don't know if you know the idea. It came partly out of someone in Canada, Pustinia, which is the Russian idea of someone who, for whatever reason, wants out of the normal stream of events and wants to be on their own. That's the idea, and I thought after 50 years of active life that that's what I would like to do, to come and be by myself. Well, I was a priest. I mean, I was an active parish priest for 50 years. And when I finished that, then I wanted to get away altogether and spend the last few years in a recollection, I suppose, really, as to what it was all about.
What was it all about?
No idea.
Where were you a priest?
Everywhere.
Tell me where.
I was in Glasgow with the rich, and I was kicked out of that for talking back to them, and then I was sent to live with the poor, which gave me an idea to go to Bangladesh. So I was 5 years in Bangladesh, and when I came back from that I was offered the job in the prison. So I was 10 years in the prison, Birlin, and then after that I went into parish work in the city centre in, do you know Glasgow? The Barras. 5 years then I was asked to do the hospital, the sick children, which I did for 10, 12 years, and during that time the church beside the hospital became vacant and I took that as well. And then the church beside it became vacant, I took that as well. Very ambitious person. After which I retired.
And did you build it?
No, when I asked, Ninian's a long-term friend, and when I inquired about the possibility of coming to the estate, they had just had an exhibition of huts, I think 2010 or something like that, which I thought they would sell, but they didn't sell, so the huts were up there at the stables, and I said I would take one of them, so they flat packed it, brought it down here and re-erected it. It's really a kind of coincidence, it's a nice coincidence that Ninian has a hut not very far away, so there is some company, but it's not any other idea of a commune or anything like that. That Ninian told you he's going to set one up further down, and yeah, he knows all that, yeah. Mm-hmm. There are some people who are envious and who would like to do this, but they've got families, responsibilities. Yeah, some people could cope with this, could do this. The majority couldn't. The majority have unfortunately become used to a shower every day, which is terrible.
So do you have to carry your water?
Yes, like the vast majority of people in the world.
Do you think you'll stay here
till I pop off? That's the hope, that I pop off inside the hut. But unfortunately the National Disease Service makes that very difficult. If anything happens to you, they're inquiring all about you and checking up and that kind of thing on you. So it's quite difficult to die in this country, unfortunately.
Do you get many visitors?
Here?
Yeah.
Thank God, no. Jeez, the last thing we need are visitors. Yeah, gosh.
So are you here in the winter too?
We don't have winter anymore. In 5 years, snow twice lasted one year it lasted one morning, and the other time it lasted, last year it lasted, well this year it was, I think it lasted about Monday to Friday. Yeah, the climate's changing dramatically.
Do you think that it's going to become more possible for people to live like
Well,
this?
I mean, it's impossible for people to live like this because, first of all, they need access to land, and the land laws in certainly in Scotland, I don't know, probably in the UK, are just abominable. I mean, it's just not easy for people to go as elsewhere in Canada and America and Scandinavia to go and find a piece of land. And because of the control of the land, land's extremely expensive here. I mean, I was told many, many years ago that in Scotland we have a land system that's comparable only to South American latifundia, which is big, big expansive land held by one person, which is just lunatic. Yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because the whole housing crisis thing and like resources being used up when actually people can just build a little space to keep them warm.
Yes, yeah, and I think well, that won't happen here because the land problem, which is, you know, the land is held by a few people or by companies, and they make it very expensive. So, for example, when building a house, the price of the land is a big, big part of the house. I mean, building the house is not so expensive, especially if they're building a lot at the same time. But the land is extortionate. So for people, I mean, Ninian told you about the 1,000 Huts movement, which is a kind of idea from Scandinavia that we should all have a little place to go to, but that's not going to happen here, unfortunately.
It is a shame. In Wales it's slightly different, isn't it? With the One Planet development, they're trying to support more low impact living, I think, and loosening planning laws and stuff like that.
Well, we've just got them here in the last year or two to loosen the planet laws to allow the building of huts, and this effort that's going to be made down the road. Then there is the planning is only local. You only need local, and the local people are known here, so hopefully that will go through without too much of a hassle.
Anything else you'd like to say? What do you think's the meaning of life?
Come back next year. The meaning of life is in my book. No, well, I mean, I think I came here I had done 50 years of active pastoral life, and I wanted to kind of reflect on what that meant for me and for all the other people who were involved in it. And out of that you try to tease the meaning of life. But once you're in a situation of retirement and you're in the hut and you're on your own, then you have very different thoughts from what you had when you were active. So it's an ongoing process to detect or to try and tease out the meaning of life out of what you're doing at the time. Not easy. Yeah.
Well done, thank you.
That's it.